How's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is George and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Hunter x Hunter chapter 410. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? To be frank, I was very sad about this week's chapter, not just because of the content that it gave us, but for the big announcement that this chapter will be the final chapter of Hunter x Hunter for a while at least, because we know that Togashi's going on hiatus again, and for all we know, this might be a year from now, a couple of months from now. Whatever the case is, I am still very sad to see that this will be the final chapter for a long time. I will say that Togashi has absolutely killed every single chapter. I think that he's been doing a great job, and I think that, you know, as sad as it is to know that this chapter will be the final one for a while, I think that he delivered fantastically, especially towards the cliffhanger and the implications that of what's to come in the future of the Succession War arc. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Hunter x Hunter, as well as all my anime and manga content that I'm providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So, this week's chapter starts off right where we left off, which was pretty much Borkson and Morena, and how the game ended. And we did know that the game ended. And I know some people speculated online like, hey, did Borkson cheat or what's going on? And in this week's chapter, yeah, it was clarified by Morena that Borkson did cheat. And I think that it was very clever the way that Togashi went about it, because I myself didn't really even understand how it played out until Morena really explained it to us. And because she does say, you cheated, didn't you? And that's why she lost. And because we find out that apparently at some point during the game, it was specifically where, you know, Borkson asked to flip the cards face up to check that they're still there after Morena kissed her. That's where Borkson did an illegal play, I guess, which was to slightly mark one of the corners of one of the cards to be able to, you know, pinpoint, okay, that's that card. So make sure, you know, so she can know what that card is ahead of time because she already saw it face up. So, you know, that's cheating 100%. And Morena tells her like, hey, you cheated, so like, you know, this is not good for you. Like, this is what costed you your game, like, pretty much. And what happens is she's explaining all this, you know, like, you cheated because you bended the corners, and why not? Guess what? You lost and you forfeited the game at that point, and you belong to me now. And this was a, you know, very bad situation for Borkson, because we do know that when you lose the game, you know, you're entitled to, you know, serve Morena. Like, that's her net ability. And guess what? Borkson lost the game, and, you know, now she's under Morena's thumb. And we see that Morena explains to her how this is gonna work out. You know, she really explains her ability at this point, where she's like, you know, she's a pyramid scheme, in other words, because she says how, you know, there's a couple of steps that play out when you join her army. And we see that one of those steps is actually where, you know, there's three conditions for you to be able to get out of there, which is one, if something breaks the phone, and it's like a network, you know, she's hacked. So you really can't, unless you take down Morena, then there's nothing that you can do about it, which she can't. Obviously, Borkson is not at that level. And we see that pretty much as this is playing out. We see that Morena explains to her like, okay, well, this is how it works out. You can get up to my level by, you know, gaining points and all that. Right now you're a level 0, so you're not even fully initiated yet. Once you're a level 1, that's when you can be part of the crew officially. And we see that she explains to her to Borkson that if she kills a civilian, that's 1 point. If she kills people with Nen, that's 10 points. If she kills a prince, that's 50 points. And when she reaches 100 points, that's the level that she can reach, so she can reach Morena's, you know, tier of abilities. And we do know that, obviously, that's broken. If you know anything, like, you know, Morena, you know, she's pretty powerful. So pretty much she's saying that once you get to that level, you know, you can make your own servants, and why not? And that's a pretty, big implication. Will it ever reach that point? Will Borkson ever reach 100 points? I don't know. But hey, if she does, guess what? Now she's going to be in the borderline seat of a massacre when it comes to the army that she will gather. Will ever get to that point? I don't know. But we do know that after the game, we see that, you know, Morena's like, okay, well, now you belong to me. And you see this, like, super menacing stare by Morena, just looking at Borkson like, you know, you're my pawn. Like, you're just an ant compared to me. And this was very terrifying. And I think that Togashi did a great job in the previous chapters, you know, making Morena all cute and lovable, in the sense of the way that he drew her, like, oh, she's so innocent, like, oh, look how cutesy, ooh. In reality, she's a monster. She's an absolute menace, and she lets you know, because as soon as, you know, Borkson loses, it's like, yeah, listen, we're not gonna harm anybody that you know or anything like that, but guess what? If you ever cross us, then that's where, that's where I can obviously get rid of you and betray you, and at that point you're done. You're donezo. So right now Borgson knows that she is 100% screwed, and she has to play Morena's game, because right now Morena's like, okay, just go back to your crew, and if I ever need you, just come back, and we'll use you whenever we want. So just remember that. Always remember that. So I think that was very, very frightening, especially the way Togashi drew Morena with like all this aura around her. Like, man, I was like, man, Borgson, I don't want to be you, homie. I would never want to be you right now. You're in a very dire situation, to say the least. And what happens after that is actually we catch up with the martial law, because we see that, as Borgson's saying, like looking at Morena, like Borgson's goal is to like break out of Morena's grasp and, be able to eventually get out of there and, be free again. So that's Borgson's objective. And once all this is happening, we catch up with the martial law and what's going down. And we see that pretty much everybody, is against the wall, martial law is everywhere. And we see Prince Benjamin in the front and center, in the martial law, going with the army, kind of trying to figure out what's going down, trying to figure out who killed Hulkenberg. And that gave him the excuse to be the martial law that's happening right now. And as he's walking, we see that apparently some of his soldiers are saying how, this mysterious door, 3 people went in, never came back. Obviously, this is one of the hideouts of Morena. They probably opened the door, they got in there, Morena teleported them to their hideout, and then they got all killed. That's my assumption. I think that's pretty clear. And we see that right now they're talking about how they gotta get all the princesses locked in so they can like be protected from any dangers and why not. But in reality, you know what he's trying to do? He's trying to eliminate all of them. He's trying to pretty much get rid of the princesses in his own way, because we do know later in the chapter how he specifies that, right now, apparently he has taken the drug that Hulkenberg got injected with or whatever. He has accidentally been exposed to it or some regard, and he's in the clock right now. He has only like 9 hours to get all this, to kill all the princesses, because his plan is to eliminate all of them, and then before he passes away, he wants to make it so he goes to his father, signs a deal that his illegitimate sons of Prince Benjamin could become legitimate successors of the succession war. So even though he would die, his kids could, move on. He can make them become legit, and then, they can rule the Kakin Empire. So that's his plan. He's trying to pass it on because he knows that he won't be able to make it out, and he is pretty much signing his own death at this point. And as this is happening, he's like in a rush. He's like, I'm trying to get all these princesses and get them all in so I can eliminate them all at once easily. And as he's walking towards, we see that as he's approaching more into the ship level, he eventually stumbles upon 2 of the Zodiacs, the Ox one and the Dragon one. And we see that the Ox one's already like, man, this guy's like the sketchy vibes 100%. And the Dragon one's like, hey, you're not looking so good. He's like, are you doing good? Like, everything okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And you see just like my man is super menacingly like looking around, like, and Benjamin, my man, is crashing the F out, man, to say the least. Like, Benjamin is off the rails. I wouldn't want to be near him right now. And we see that even Kaiser, the guy with the glasses that was with Kurapika and Melody, he's like, yo, this guy is definitely infected, and right now he's just doing whatever he wants because he knows that he's in a timer right now. So he's trying to get all of these things done no matter what the repercussions are, because guess what, there won't be no repercussions for a death, man. And that's how the chapter ends. And even I think Togashi says like, what's going to happen now 40 minutes into the martial law. So we're like, okay, what's going to go down? We do know that, the Phantom Troop are still, going towards the hideout of Morena. We do know that Chrollo is trying to hunt some artifacts. And now we do know that the martial law is in place. Hisoka is just vibing somewhere. Harmright is trying to get his revenge on the Phantom Troop. So a lot of elements are still ongoing in this Succession arc. And I cannot wait for the next chapter. Whenever it does happen, guess what? I'll be like beyond Netero. I'm going to be there. And I'm going to just say, no matter how long it takes, I'll be waiting. So Togashi, get your rest, homie. You earned it. And overall, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Hunter x Hunter, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.